In this episode, I'm going to tell the story of rapper EBK Jaaybo's father, Rari. Born James Gorman around 1985, Rari grew up in Stockton, California, one of the most dangerous cities in the state. Despite its modest size, Stockton has long struggled with high crime rates, deep poverty, and persistent violence. In fact, in 2012, Stockton became the largest city in U.S. history to file for bankruptcy, burdened with a $26 million deficit and over $2 billion in debt. Rari's early life. Growing up there wasn't easy. Rari's mother battled drug addiction for most of his life, and his father was only around occasionally. With both parents dealing with their own struggles, Rari and his siblings were raised primarily by their grandmother. She provided structure and discipline, but she couldn't shield him from the harsh realities of the streets. Rari was raised in Nightingale, a rough neighborhood in southeast Stockton known for gang activity, particularly involving the Bloods and Crips. The environment inevitably pulled him into street life. While music and rap were always on his mind, survival was his reality. And in the early 2000s, no rapper from Stockton had broken through on a national level. Balancing the streets and music was a constant struggle. Rari faced many losses, including the tragic death of one of his closest friends, 19-year-old Aaron Vickers. Aaron, also from Nightingale, was shot and killed just blocks from his home 8 months before his son was born on October 4th, 2002. He was walking with Rari, a cousin, and other friends when a car pulled up and opened fire. Aaron was hit once and died on the scene. In '02, I lost one of my best friends, Aaron Vickers, Rari later recalled. It really hit me hard. I had never lost a close friend before. We were all just hanging out, talking like we usually do, and a car pulled up and started shooting. We all ducked, but Aaron got hit before he could get down. That was my brother. We were together every day. That's all we knew each other. We had our little crew, and we stuck together no matter what. We always said, if one of us fights, we all fight. If one of us goes down, we all go down. So when he died and I felt like I let him down. He continued, that morning we had been talking about another guy who had just been killed. We saw the funeral procession. We said, we never wanted to go through that. But just hours later, it was us. We were standing in a group. They shot all of us, but Aaron was the only one hit. There were bullet holes everywhere. Some are still in that wall where we were standing. It stayed with me for a long time. Aaron's death left a permanent scar on Rari. Over the years, he would lose more friends to street violence. His involvement in that life also led to multiple run-ins with the law, from juvenile hall to county jail. The jail free. After one of his releases from county jail, Rari moved to Atlanta to chase his dream of becoming a rapper. However, this move violated his probation, landing him in prison. Upon his release, Rari decided to fully commit to music. He invested heavily in his career, building his own studio so he could write, produce, and record his own music. Rari didn't just build a career for himself. He involved his children too. He encouraged him to write and perform music from a young age, and he launched his son Jaaybo's career by putting him in the studio early. Rari was determined to keep his kids away from the streets that shaped and nearly destroyed him. Rari didn't want his children to be exposed to the same harsh realities he had witnessed growing up. To protect them, he kept them active in sports and brought them into the studio. Over the years, he released several music videos in an effort to gain exposure. Being both a father and an artist were his greatest passions. He was willing to do anything for his kids. That brings us to January 5th, 2015. On that day, Stockton police responded to reports of gunfire. Shortly afterward, they discovered a 30-year-old Rari critically injured inside a car at the intersection of Hammer Lane. He was rushed to the hospital, but sadly, he did not survive. According to police, the incident stemmed from a robbery involving Rari's sons earlier that day. Authorities say Rari attempted to track down the suspects in northeast Stockton. There, an altercation broke out, and a juvenile suspect fatally shot him. Investigators later arrested 2 teens in connection with the case, a 17-year-old who had allegedly carried out the robbery, and a 16-year-old who was charged with Rari's murder. Rari died at just 30 years old, leaving behind several children. Many of them followed his path into music, but none more prominently than EBK Jaaybo. Tragic death. After his father's death, Jaaybo entered the streets at just 11 years old. He walked away from sports and became a gang member, repping Nightingale like his father once did. Over time, he picked up the torch his father had carried, continuing the family's presence in music and the streets. When asked how his father's death changed him, Jaaybo explained, "When my pops died, it was like I just flipped a switch and said, 'Forget it, I'm in the streets now.' It didn't happen like that. I can't even explain how it happened. One day I was just a regular kid. The next thing I know, I'm thugged out like it became normal. I was 11 when it happened. I don't really get emotional anymore about it, you feel me? That was a long time ago. I'm 20 now." He continued, "It was a big shift. You look at pictures of me at 11, just a regular kid. Then you see what happened after. I had to grow up fast. But yeah, everybody in the city knew my dad. He was well known. He's still relevant. And he didn't even get the chance to blow up musically." When asked if the teens involved had been targeting him personally, Jaaybo clarified, "Nah, that had nothing to do with me. I was just a kid, 11 years old. I don't know anything about all that. That's a case. I don't talk about stuff like that. I lost my pops, that's all I know." Jaaybo has paid tribute to his father in many of his songs, making it clear how much Rari meant to him. His father's influence continues to shape his music and drive his success. Today, EBK Jaaybo stands as one of the most recognized rappers in California, a testament to the legacy Rari left behind.